think a lot of that is kind of revolved around like building the player up and letting people know like what their favorite player or like what their favorite players are doing and stuff, and maybe doing like a weekly interview. Kind of going back to like regionals, for example. If your favorite team was NG Red, talk to some people on NG Red, and hear their side of the story, because a lot of people thought NG Red like went up to the tournament and choked, and they were actually a really good team. They were like really well practiced, and I feel like a lot of people would be really interested in hearing their side of the story, or maybe some of the Europeans, because I feel like a lot of the Europeans aren't, they're not like that big in terms of publicity. A lot of them don't stream. A lot of them don't really care for fame or anything.
Sorry for being
PvP
away the
podcast,
whole
something like
week,
that,
but I
yeah.
had to push
So
it.
I mean, I want to try and get players to like appreciate their favorite player and hear more from them and stuff. I feel like I have all these ideas like why doesn't Blizzard do this? Why doesn't Blizzard do that? I just thought to myself like, why don't I do it? You know what I mean? It's not like this is crazy hard to do. Maybe do something where it's like talk about top comps of the week and stuff like that. But yeah, I kind of want to see like how the community reacts to it a little bit. The main thing that I want to be working on, I think definitely is kind of like the gameplay overview. I feel like that's something that's really, really easy for me to do. I think that's something that some of the lower rated players would appreciate quite a bit. A PvP podcast. Yeah, I guess that's what it would be. Make it a TV show? I'm not really sure. I think the interviews would probably be like off stream and then maybe put on YouTube. I could maybe do them on stream. I'm not really 100% sure about like I guess what you guys called the podcast as of right now, but I'm sitting here every week and I'm watching Hearthstone tournaments ran by Blizzard. I'm watching Heroes tournaments. I'm watching all these games, and WoW needs to get some love. But I'm also thinking about trying to start another game. And I love Counter-Strike Go, but let's be honest, man. I'm not going anywhere with CS:GO. So I feel like there needs to be another source like of gameplay where I feel like I can actually maybe make it as a real streamer and stuff. But yo, Smoothie Toothie, I appreciate the 7 months. So what do you guys think about these ideas, by the way? Truthfully, the easiest game to probably go pro at or be the most successful at in terms of like ranking and stuff like that is probably Hearthstone. In the least amount of time played, you could probably get Legend in Hearthstone, be high ranked. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying it's easier than probably Counter-Strike Go, Dota, League, those kind of games. And I know a lot of the people in here actually despise Hearthstone, so it feels like that's going to be a difficult task for me if I play that. Should really follow through with them and make them more an idea. Well, this is kind of, I want to do this, but I also want to hear the opinion of my viewers and stuff. I don't one thing that bothers me is that other, like if I try and interview top players, they might think of it as me just getting publicity for me. It's not really what I want to do. It probably would be on my stream or on my channel, but I would absolutely not mind at all to shout out like their stream, stuff like that, whatever it is that they do. But yeah, in some cases I may not be able to get everyone that you guys want interviewed and stuff. I would try and like ask who do you guys want interviewed this week and stuff like that. Who are you guys interested in hearing? And I feel like the first couple interviews I'd really like to talk about the Regionals BlizzCon, because I feel like there should have been a really strong follow-up with what happened at Regionals BlizzCon, you know what I mean? I don't know if anything was like Blizzard related, but let's be honest. There's a 3-time World Championship. There's a 2 times back-to-back World Championship. I feel like that's something that should have been like covered by Blizzard. That's something that's just insurmountable success. Like it's just absolutely insane. There's also some people that people thought were gonna get really far and didn't quite make it as far and stuff like that. A lot of people out there. It doesn't matter who you are. Like everyone has their favorite player, whether they're like super popular or not. Everyone has their favorite player. I'm sure some of these people's favorite players they don't actually get to hear from too often, and I'm gonna try and just fill that void, I suppose. I don't think WoW Arena will ever be the #1 game. You know what I mean? But it definitely has showed that it's popular. Even recently, but more so in the past. And I think with like the right advertisement and a little bit of love here and there, it could definitely be a pretty popular game. Everybody has a favorite player? Yeah, I think so. I think everyone that watches or plays WoW PvP has a favorite player. Minpoike? Well, the thing with Minpoike is he's actually one of the more popular streamers. And there's not many, in my opinion, not many European streamers. So I'm sure he talked about BlizzCon. I'm sure you guys know, everything about him already. But it's more so like the people that you don't know about. You know what I mean? Joxy, see, that's a good one, man. That's a good one. The donation. The interesting thing about Joxy is, him playing in
Feels good
regionals.
gaming.
he was playing Disc Priest when too many people did not think Disc Priest was very good. So, you know, for example, if your favorite player is Joxy, I feel like you're wondering what the thought process is behind that. You know, if you're watching a WoW tournament, you're thinking, what the hell? Why are you playing Disc Priest? You know, what's up with that? So I'm sure there's a lot. Maybe I'm being too optimistic and stuff, but if I was a WoW spectator, and I was back in the day, and I used to watch Collective, and you know, I always thought to myself, why does he do this? Why does he do that? I would check his armory. Then I met him in person, and I was asking about his gear and stuff like that. And I feel like it helps so much. And I feel like that could also be very true for some of the newer players that don't get to hear from their favorite players all the time and shit. You're welcome to. I just wanted to share my ideas with you, see if you guys liked them or backed them. If any of you guys are also interested in having your gameplay analyzed, I'm just trying to stick with healers for now. And depending on what the rating is, I may or may not want to analyze it. You know, if you're like a 25, 26, 2700 Resto Druid or something like that, and you're wondering what it takes to go pro, I can't help you. You know what I mean? I don't know Resto Druid that well. I'm gonna try and stick to what I know. I want to make sure that the advice I'm giving is good. You know, maybe I could say, you know, maybe you should have dispelled there, maybe you should have positioned better here, but I just don't know enough to talk about the classes I'm not really comfortable with.
Less than 3.
That's what they call me. Promise that you never be lonely. Be the fan, that's what they call me. I promise that you never be lonely.